Fundamental attribution error is people's tendency to place an undue emphasis on internal characteristics to explain someone else's behavior in a given situation, rather than considering external factors. Fundamental attribution error can be dangerous in developing opinions about others. When interpreting your own behavior, you take a multitude of factors into consideration, including situational factors, past events, and internal characteristics. Not taking those factors into consideration when interpreting others' behaviors may lead to stereotypes and prejudices.
Of course, no one intends to misinterpret the actions of others. Causes of fundamental attribution error may be: by discounting situational factors, an individual may believe that the actor is in full control of their behavior and is just getting what they deserve. This is known as the just world phenomenon. Too much to process. Sometimes individuals may overlook situational factors simply because they do not want to spend the energy trying to fully understand a situation. An individual's cultural background can either increase or decrease the degree to which that individual is prone to this error. For example, those from an individualistic culture may emphasize an individual over situational factors, potentially making people of those cultures more prone to fundamental attribution error.
So now we have one example of fundamental attribution error. Alice, a driver, is about to pass through an intersection. Her light turns green and she begins to accelerate, but another car drives through the red light and crosses in front of her. The fundamental attribution error may lead her to think that the driver of the other car was an unskilled or reckless driver. This will be an error if the other driver had a good reason for running the light, such as rushing a patient to the hospital. If this is the case and Alice had been driving the other car, she would have understood that the situation called for speed at the cost of safety. But when seeing it from the outside, she was inclined to believe that the behavior of the other driver reflected their fundamental nature of having poor driving skills or a reckless attitude.
To illustrate this concept further, we've found an example of fundamental attribution error from the popular movie The Breakfast Club with the character Bender. Let's take a look.
Is that for real? You want to come over sometime?
That's bullshit. It's all part of your image. I don't believe a word of it.
You don't believe me?
No.
No?
Did I stutter?
This? Huh? It's about the size of a cigar. Do I stutter? See, this is what you get in my house when you spill paint in the garage. See, I don't think that I need to sit with you fucking dildos anymore.
Just before this scene, Bender described his home life where his parents are physically and emotionally abusive towards him. The other members of the Breakfast Club don't believe him, and one of them even says that he's lying as it's only part of his tough guy image, which prompts Bender to show them a burn mark on his arm, which he explains is from his father putting out a cigar on him. As you can see from the other characters, they all turn their heads away and are clearly uncomfortable by this. This is the moment where the fundamental attribution error comes to life, as the characters are confronted by their misconceptions of Bender. While he does have this tough guy persona, he acts this way to mask how he is treated at home. What I find to be the most interesting, however, is the fact that one character blatantly calls Bender a liar after he talks about his home life. Even after being told some of these unfortunate details, the other characters still aren't convinced until they see some physical evidence, which illustrates the depth of the fundamental attribution error and how it can be so deeply ingrained in people.
Again, the fundamental attribution error describes the tendency for observers to attribute other people's behavior to internal or dispositional factors to downplay situational causes. The effects of attribution error can be harmful.